Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another movies multi-genre month on my channel. This time, we're reviewing a horror thriller from 2007. This one's a lot better than the Clone Wars movie a year after this. Directed by Frank Calfoun. But where's he from? I know he's not American because I never heard that name. He's from Paris, but he does a good job here. If you doubt that directors from Paris can direct, see Pierre Morel movies or Louis Leterrier or any other person, even Denis Villeneuve. He's from Canada, but he's French Canadian, so it counts. Most Canadians are French, so descent. And it's also produced by Alexandre Aja, who did Piranha 3D, and Gregory Lavasseur, and it's set on Christmas Eve. But to be fair, it's a Christmas movie by coincidence, kind of like Die Hard or Die Hard 2. And yes, Die Hard 2 is a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas, so suck it, haters. This is P2, but it's worth reviewing because I didn't review it last year. So it stars the always gorgeous, the always reliable Rachel Nichols. She plays a young businesswoman who gets trapped in an underground parking garage in Midtown Manhattan. Trust me, I've been there. I've been to a parking garage in Manhattan and Brooklyn all my life. And it's really scary. Like, if there's no cars around and there's hardly any people, it's like Dawn of the Dead in there. It really is. Very isolated. And this is a perfect movie to see last year through all the isolation I had, where she is pursued by a psychopathic security guard played by Wes Bentley, yes, from The Hunger Games and Ghost Rider and a bunch of other films, who is obsessed with her. Hey, it's Rachel freaking Nichols. Look at this face and tell me you wouldn't be obsessed with this gorgeous slice of heaven. Look at this face. Just look at that. Yeah. Eat my anus, Pinto. This is a real woman. She's 41 years old, and well, she's been divorced, so she has a new spouse from 2014. Good actress. I prefer her as Scarlett O'Hara in the first GI Joe movie. I didn't hate her in the Conan the Barbarian remake. Yes, it wasn't a good remake, but I don't hate it like a lot of critics did. She's good in this too because she shows her dramatic chops, and her and Wes Bentley actually, even though it's a cat and mouse thing, they have good chemistry on screen. This movie cost $3 million, $3.5 million, and made 7.7. So a modest hit from 2007. It came out in November, so when that Harry Potter movie came out, I don't remember which one it was in '07. It's been a while, but it did good, and it's very atmospheric. The shots in the movie are beautiful. The Christmas music is nice. You have a Blue Christmas song from Elvis Presley in the soundtrack from uh, on one of those freaking vinyl records. And the film looks great. It looks like a movie that would come out today. It is R rated, so it's not this PG-13 garbage we get now, like Quiet Place or any of that. No, those are pussified because you can't show violence. Here, they go all the way. Like when she gets captured by Wes Bentley, it's not it isn't freaking Saw, and it's not 50 Shades. It's not that. It's a cat and mouse game. So if you're not into that, then don't watch this. Just to let my fellow subscribers and friends on Facebook know, it's not for the faint of heart, but it's not racist. I'll give it that. The film got generally mixed reviews, but I don't know why. It's atmospheric and dark, and it's R-rated. What else do you want? And it has a lead that's not from a foreign country, which is a huge plus for me after what I've been through this year. Rotten Tomatoes give it a 33%. I don't really care about Rotten Tomatoes anymore. They gave The Suicide Squad a 90%. It's not going to be that great. P2 is full of gore, but low on suspense. You're wrong. You have a girl trapped in a freaking garage in Manhattan, lower Manhattan, where you could barely hear anybody, and there's no one to help her until the very end of the film, where she has to get out herself. A cat and mouse plot has been done many times before, yes, but it's done well here. This didn't get two shitty sequels or a remake or a prequel. There were some positive reviews. Roger Ebert liked it. Good for him. Rest in peace, Roger Ebert. I miss you. He gave it a 3 out of 4 stars and stated in his review that although the plot may be formulaic slasher film, P2 is in fact a very well-made atmospheric thriller with gritting yet realistic characters. Yes, Rachel McAdams, my bad, wrong Rachel. Rachel Nichols is realistic here because unlike Karen in Gunpowder Milkshake, where she gets beat up and she gets her arms dead and she still can kill guys like they're nothing, this doesn't have that feminist agenda. Here, She's a normal girl that doing her job, and then she wants to go home for Christmas Eve to spend time with her family, and she's captured by this guy's like who wants her. A heterosexual man, by the way. None of this freaking gender fluidity. No, he wants her, and he wants to eat her, not alive. Just what I mean. The director does make a cameo. He's a newsman. The film has Gracie Lynn Kung. Is that the Asian girl? Yeah, that's a gorgeous Asian girl from. She's done a lot of Canadian productions. Beautiful, beautiful girl. I'd love to see her in an MCU movie. You also have Simon Reynolds, Philip Atkins, Stephanie Moore, a lot of people like Canadian and American actors that you probably never heard of. But it is like the movie is very, very dark, but it's still fun to watch. Her running away from this guy is just it's creepy, but she's not a total damsel in distress. At the end, she gets a strength to get away from her captor and kicks his ass and wins. So that's something that you can count on. Let me read this at the ending. Her name is Angela. Angela Bridges. Yeah. In retaliation, Angela points the taser at a stream of gasoline leaking from the cars just as Thomas realizes what she's about to do to him. He uses the taser to ignite the gasoline. Yeah. See, igniting the gasoline. But this movie is not a Fast and the Furious movie where they just threw logic out the window. This actually has logic and some realism. Angela, who is now wet, bloody, and injured, of course. See, because vulnerability is not a bad thing. Women aren't superheroes. Unless it's a Marvel or DC movie, don't make them superheroes. Make them normal, everyday, blue collar folks that actually have vulnerability. She opens the garage gate and limps out in the cold and desolate Manhattan Christmas morning, just as the fire department, paramedics, and the police have heard of asking her if she was okay. And the movie ends. See? It ends briefly. It doesn't need to go to sequel bait. It doesn't do the stupid escape room ending. It doesn't have a twist. It just ends. That's how you do it, guys. Not every horror movie needs to set up the next one or does a twist where, oh no, she was the killer the whole time. No, that it doesn't do Fantasy Island. It does it right. And she, does a great job with her acting. She's beautiful in the movie without being overly sexualized. And the film's short. It's only 98 minutes. It's not 2.5 hours like a Zack Snyder movie. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't have any agendas. It doesn't have any strings attached. It is what it is. And Wes Bentley being over the top actually does. He has these big crazy eyes, so he's fun to watch him here more than in Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is way too whiny, and in Hunger Games he's not in it that much. And even in Fallout, yes, I went there. In Mission Impossible Fallout, he's a cameo that could have easily been cut out. Is he more normal than Jared Leto? Yeah, of course. If Leto did this, he'd be like, I don't know, freaking licking Rachel Nichols' face or something because he's so unpredictable. Good actor, just weird, way too weird. But the movie, this P2 movie, Sean, if you ever see this video, I'm going to share this with you. Watch this film. It's available on streaming. And the DVD is pretty cheap on Amazon. And also, the movie, I think you can find it to rent somewhere, either digitally or on disc. It's a good film. And it didn't get a lot of love from critics, but who cares about critics? They loved brutal movies like Hostel or whatever, or some of the Saw movies, and I'm like, yeah, but they're not for me. Some of them are not for me. Like mean spirited horror thrillers are not for me anymore. I rather have something entertaining for 90 minutes than for 2 hours trying to preach. But it is a good movie. Watch it. It's worth your time. What else has this director done? Just to kill a few more seconds. Uh, and when this actress is scared, I actually buy it. If this was Karen, she'd be like, in Gunpowder, she doesn't even show any fear. She's just like got adrenaline pumping and just beats up everything that she touches. And I'm like, that's not as realistic that I wanted it to be. This guy also did the Maniac remake, which I do want to see. He was in Piranha 3D. He produced a movie called Oxygen. He's done Wrong Turn at Tahoe. He did I Lived, and he did an Amityville movie. But he does know how to hold a camera. At least I could see what's going on. This isn't a horror movie with a ton of CG. It's low budget, but it looks great, and it's actually in Manhattan, not filmed like in several other countries. So if you see P2 on streaming, watch it. It's on 2B TV. You can watch it there for free. It's worth your time. It's not a horrible movie. And it's not Countdown, if that's what my friend thinks. Because guess what? Some movies can be atmospheric without being having a premise that is either wasted or a premise that's not for you. Here, it's just a girl trying to get away from this crazy my man, and it's a lot better than the Psycho remake. I can easily say that without question because it's not something that we've seen before exactly the same way, just in color. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next review.